of the Gospel of Luke. Why the name First Nations Version? The term First Nations, while mostly used in Canada for the original inhabitants of the land, is increasingly being accepted and used by many Native Americans in the United States and by Indigenous peoples worldwide. Following this trend, the name First Nations Version was chosen for this translation. Why English? It is conservatively estimated that over 90% of First Nations people do not speak their tribal language, and even fewer can read it. This is the result of several generations of governmental assimilation policies that attempted to eradicate over 250 languages spoken in North America. This translation is not intended to be tribally specific, but to present the scriptures in a general way, attempting to represent some of the simple yet profoundly beautiful ways our languages can be expressed in English. We aimed for a style that is easy to read, with an attempt to present in writing the cadence and feel of an oral storyteller. A contextual approach was adhered to, using English word choices and idiomatic phrases that are culturally relevant, with an effort to refrain from a stereotypical or culturally degrading simplicity. Partnering organizations. One Book, a Canadian organization dedicated to helping Indigenous peoples all over the world translate the Bible for themselves, provided financial support along with the tools and training needed for a high-quality translation. They partnered with Rain Ministries, located in the United States, to facilitate this translation. Wycliffe Associates of Orlando served this project in the beginning by providing technical support and funding for gathering the council together. Church engagement. The First Nations version of the New Testament was produced in response to the consistently positive feedback given to the initial translation efforts. As samples were shared in churches and other venues, those who heard these samples began asking for more. Pastors, evangelists, missionaries, Native elders, and others began to ask whether a complete New Testament would be translated using this contextual approach. The FNV is for all the churches, and it is especially for those involved in contextual ministry with Native North Americans. The Translation Council. A Translation Council was selected from a cross-section of Native North Americans. Elders, pastors, young adults, and men and women from different tribes and diverse geographic locations were chosen to sit on the council. This council also represents a diversity of church and denominational traditions to minimize bias. Our council consisted of 12, one remains anonymous, First Nations individuals with tribal heritages from diverse geographical regions. This council had input into the style and method of translation to be used. From this group, a smaller council was chosen to determine how the most important biblical terms would be translated. The members of our council are listed below with their North American tribal heritages. Barry D. Belindo, Kiowa, Navajo, Pawnee, Choctaw. Garland Bruno, Wasco, Ojibwe. Gordon Campbell, Kalispell, Spokane, Nez Perce. Shandine Church, Diné, Pokagon Band, Potawatomi. Alvin Deer, Kiowa, Creek. John Grosvenor, Cherokee. Antonia Belindo, Kiowa, Navajo, Pawnee, Choctaw. Brian John Micheski, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe. Dale and Charlotte Sosi, Diné, Navajo. Terry M. Wildman, Ojibwe, Yaqui. The following ministries gave of their time to participate in this project: Rain Ministries, One Book of Canada, Wycliffe